Hello and welcome to my channel. So in the previous video I already completed the first part as a part of the developing read-only list reports app. So in the previous video what I did basically, so as a part of the data modeling I have created a CDS view, and after that I have define the service definitions, then binding the service, and after that finally I consume that service into a Fiori app. So now if I go to that my entity, so you can find that that is the CDS view I have created, and that is the service definitions, and that finally that is the service binding. So everything I have done in that entity, not in the Fiori SAP GUI. And if you use that the latest version of the NetWeaver, then you can use that entity, everything in that entity. You don't need to go to the SAP GUI. And today what I will do, so before starting that, so basically you can see that I have created this list view, but if I click you can see that is the details view, but still actually it's the only one table. I didn't join anything. So today actually I will create the other flight and career and also airport CDS view, and finally I will do that association for existing views, and I will change the field level, displaying text, and I will also do the view help and that search capabilities. So and everything is the following that a wrap model, so you don't need to do anything, everything that is the based on that annotation. So let's get started. So now let's create the flight CDS view. So the same way I'm going to the definition, and here the name should be the jet A01 high flight R. So descriptions demo flight, and I will also use the table. The table name is that demo flight. So here next W. So you already know about that. In the previous video I have already described. So what I will do basically, I will use that. So here you can see that is the price. So as it is the price, so we have to use the semantic amount. So here, because you can see that is an error, so here I will use just semantics amount dot currency code, that is the currency code. That's it, and error gone. And now I will use like that is the carrier ID. So I have to use these. So before going that, like, so that is our CDS view. So what I will do, already in the previous video I have already exposed the first one, so I can just go here and expose the second one, because this is we are going to create here. So here that is the, but we have to activate this. Is activating, you can see it's activating. So now actually we just expose here. So again just active here. So automatically if you go to that service binding, you can see, if you go service binding, so here activate. So I think it's still okay. So if I go to the service binding, here I need to activate again, or if I just close this, the service binding, if I open again, so now you can see that is the another expose, that is the, because I just added here, so you can see that is automatically coming here. So this is my connection and this is my flight. So now if I want to preview this, so that is the same way. We need to select here and it will come, because in the previous video I already described that is the annotation based, and we have to add the code here. So let's start code here. It's not so here that is the carrier ID. So the same way I have to use that UI dot line item. In that line item, position, it can be 10, and level, it can be airline. So what I am doing, I'm just copy the same and this here, and this, and okay. So first one is the connection ID. Connection ID is the connection number, and that is the position 20, and that is the 30, that is the flight date, 30 is the flight date, then 40 is the basically that is the currency code. So we can use that is basically this is, we don't need to use the symmetric amount. So here the flight date and the 40 is the price, right? And then 50 is the, its currency code is not required here, we will not use it, and that is the type ID. We can use only that is 50, and that it is maximum seat, and the this is the occupied, I mean that is the occupied seat. So it is 60 and that is 70. So now active here, activating, refresh. Yeah, automatically it is showing here and data is also showing here. So we didn't use any we didn't use any facet, so it will not show here. That's absolutely fine because we are going to create the other things. So basically that is the flight. Then if I go there, so flight is done. So we now will create a carrier. So again I'm going to that new data definition, that is jet a 01 I C A R I here carrier jet demo flight, that is carrier. So this carrier will be built on top of that demo carrier table. So I'm using that. Next, finish. So here you can see that is carrier ID, name, and the here basically that currency code. So we will not use all, we will use only the 3. So here, so carrier ID is basically that is the airline, and name is the name, that is okay. Carrier ID basically that is the airline ID. Name is name, that is okay. So that is also currency code, that is also fine. So here that's it. If we just activate this, and you know that we have to expose. So here just expose here the same way what I already told, no need to do anything. So I have created that carrier, so I will create a that is airport, this one. So let's start the airport. So that is the same way, definition jet a 01 airport demo flight airport, and that is the airport will on top of that demo airport. So I'm using that. Next, finish. Okay, so here basically that is the airport ID. Yeah, that is the airport ID is just airport ID. We always use that capital letter ID. Name is name, cities, and that is the country, basically country code. Okay, all done here. So we can also put it here like airport as airport, but it's okay. So now basically I have created that 4 view from the 4 table, and I also want to expose here. So here expose. Okay, so here I need to put this. So this part is done. So I have created that all. So now actually what we have to do, we have to now you can see basically that is the that is the separate view, but I have to do the associations with that within that CDS view. So that is the reason you can see that is the connection. So what I will do, I will that connection, that is the one-to-many relation with that fly, right? And that is the carrier to connection, that is the one-to-many, carrier to flight is on-to-many, and that connection to fly, that is one-to-many. So that is the reason first I have to open that connection, and here as I can also change the name, like that is as connection, just alias name. So now I'm going to connect here with the flight. So first of all, you know that association, that for the join, and that is called the lazy join or smart join. I'm not going in details here. So that is on one-to-many relation. But you have to remember that, like, why I'm using association, because association is just smart join, and it will join when actually it's required. It will not join and it will not show data. So that's the reason it's very fast. And two, so that is my flight. So I am going to so now you can see I use the one-to-many, and that the flight jet A. So if I check, that is this name is flight. So as flight, so I am use the underscore because that is the association. So system will know that is the association. That is the reason there is the underscore as per standard SAP guidelines. And as I use association, so at the end I have to use this association, and now still I have to use that association now on the join projection. It will pick from this. So projection airline ID, flight dot carrier ID. Okay, but carrier ID also, like but here if I go to the flight, so basically that is the carrier ID. But what we can do here, like that flight, so the carrier ID, basically we can put that airline ID, because because actually carrier ID, basically we are defining that airline ID. So now if I go to the connection, now I can find that airline ID. So that is the first part, and also there is another, and projection dot connection ID flight dot connection ID. So it's just for the join purpose I use this. So I also use that flight because I have used the association here. So now that is the main part, is that when I go to the connection, when I click here, so that is the connection. You can see it's a connection. So basically when I see, I can see only in the details page I can see the connection, but I also went onto the flight information because currently it's a join. So, and I'm going to form from this connection, so I can easily see that is the flight. So that is the reason it's already there is a facet, and this facet is here, that is for the connection. So what I can do here, like that is the position. So here I can put another ID, and that is the ID flight I can just copy this, because that is the same, and this is basically is the flight, and this position will be 20. So here what it will do, it will just let me just refresh here. Okay, so now if I click here, you can see that is the flight information is also there, and this position, it is coming the second because I put the position is 20, so it's automatically it's the second position, but actually it's not the flight position, it's the same as the connection. So that is the reason we have to put a target. So this target is the target element, basically our association, what we want to show. So now if we active here, I just activate here. So if we refresh, this is still it is not showing. So what we have to do, that is the ID. Let me refresh again. So here that is the ID is the flight is standard, and it should be Actually it should be line item reference 20. So now you can see there is a flight is also there. So whenever you click here, SQ, that is SQ related connection, and there is a join, so that is the reason flight is also showing. Okay, so now it's good. So now what we have to do, we can also change some UI level description. So here, for example, if I that is the line item. So here, if we change the position, it will also change. But I'm not going to do this. Like if I go to the connection, it will be like the connection numbers. I mean that if you change here, it will be change, and you can also add something like if you mouse hover here, it will come. But this is, I'm not going to this. I'm just going to do the main part of this here, what is required here. So here you can see like that is the airline A, Z, and JL. So it is very difficult for the business user to understand actually what is this, because the full name is not there. And the full name actually basically that is the airline, and this airline information is in the carrier. So basically that is the ID number is here, but in the carrier you will find that full name. So basically if I go to the carrier, so basically that is the name is the full name, and like that is the AA means that airlines ID, but name is the full name. So but sometimes it may require that within this AA it can be bracket, and the full name should be here. So let's start with that. After that it will be more clear. So now what we want to do, we want to add the name here from that carrier. So now what we have to do here, we have to just add that semantics dot text true active, because this name will appear in the connection, and in that connection, because you can notice that basically that is coming from that main connection connection view. So again we have to make a join with the carrier, because carrier have that name. So again the association, in that association if we check here like carrier to connection, basically that is the carrier means that here it is one to many, but associations we can use that 1 to 1 also, because one code has that one name. So in this case I can put 1, and 2 means that to wire it will connect. So it will connect to the carrier. So ZA carriers as airlines, the same on projection. So here that projection is that airline ID airline dot airline ID. So basically that is the only on join. So now there is a join between the connector and carrier ID, and in that carrier ID, so basically that is the carrier ID. So as I have added that airline, so you may remember that I also have to add here, and here that is the airline ID will combine with that name. So in the name I already mentioned that if I go to the flight carrier, I can already semantic true. So here that is the carrier ID. So now what we have to do, just object model dot text dot association, that is airline. So here object model text associations airline, that is find airline ID, and if I go to that let me activate here, and if I go to the flight, in that flight we can use that. So here that is also connection also with the flight. So why we need that flight information as well? Because if here, so let's complete the first one. So if we, I think it's already activated. Still it is not showing. So here that is the so in the connection, so that is the carrier that semantics that text is true. I need to activate here currency code, and if I open that connection, in that connection I also use that association with the one is the flight and another is the carrier, and that airline ID projection airline ID airline, that is the airline ID, and in that airline ID basically that is the airlines. Where is that airline ID? So basically that is the airline ID. So in that object model text association, that is the airline, that's the fine, and in that that is also connected with the fly. So if I open that flight and that airline ID, so here object model, the text association, that is the airline. So here that is the airline, so we have to use that. So basically what we have to do, so basically we declare here the airlines, but here actually it should be as airline. So as I rename here, so basically now activate it, still it's not showing. So here the true airline name is the name, and currency code is also here. If I go to the connection, so in that connection I have association and projection, and second is the association carrier. So basically that is the airline, and projection airline ID, and airline ID, that is okay. So object model connection, that is carrier ID. So basically carrier ID as airline ID, and I use the object model text association airline, and that CDS flight here. Okay, so that, okay, so here I have to use the association one, because that is the flight to carrier. So flight to carrier one to many, but here I can use the one. So to jet A jet A01 I carrier, jet A01 carrier as airline on projection airline ID, airline dot airline ID. So here I have to use that ID at the end, and that carrier ID and object model, so let it active. So now you can see that is the relevant airline's name, and also that is the code is appearing here. So that is also sometimes that you need to, without changing the table data, you can only the annotation level you can change. So that is the main way how you can change here. You have to use that object model and that association. That's it. So now if I click here, let me refresh. So something wrong here. So sometimes it happened just unpublished and published. So now if you just refresh here, see now data is showing. So basically that is the connection with that flight information, and that flight information also that airline name is showing. So this is done. So now what we have to do, like here's this part is done. So what we will do, we will add the source help here. So now you can see if I go back. So basically there is no search button here, so we'll implement that search button. So in that search button, and we will also add that search help. So now if I close this, what is the, okay, so that is the flight, take it in connection. So what we have to do basically here, so what we want to add that search field. So for example that departure airport code, so there is a departure airport code, and there is a position 30. So here what we can do, here we can just add selected field, position 10. So if I add here, refresh here, you can see that is the departure airport, it's automatically showing. And the same thing we can also put that in that 40 we can also add here. So definitely that is, it should be 20. So active. Okay, so that search button is here, but actually there is no, like in SAP if you click on that F4, that you can see that is everything is showing. But here actually you can just still actually user need to put that value here, but there is no search help. So what we'll do, we are going to implement that search help. So that is the reason. So first we'll add that value help here. So that is the reason. Here's actually first we understand that where actually we want to use this. So the departure airport, actually here we will add. So that is the reason we just have to use that consumption dot Belu help default function. So Belu help default function, Belu help, that is the FINI definition. So basically that is the Boolean definitions, and here it is in entity, that is the entity, and name is the ZA01 ZA01 I airport. It should not be started. It's the ZA01 airport, and then we have to put the entity name, that is the element should be airport ID, that is the same. We have another's, that is the destinations. So basically that is the destinations, and we use that selection field, so we have to also use here. So need to just activate here, refresh. So here, so now you can see that is airport ID, and everything is showing here. This is not here. So now if we test, like, that is the departure airport, that is the JFK. So now if I JFK is, so here if I select here, go, so now you can see that all JFK related flight is showing. So basically that is the below help, but still actually we cannot search here. So I mean that if we select here, I have to select here, but we cannot search like this way. I mean that here we can put like American, only the Americans, or only the United Airlines I cannot search. So that is the reason. Now I'm going to add the search capabilities. So for these search capabilities, what we have to do in the connection, so here I have to add in the main header info. So basically that is the header file. So first of all I have to add that source dot searchable true. That means that I am going to at the source item here. That is the one thing. And so basically based on that expose a standard search field on the UI. If I refresh here, so still I need to do one thing. So here's in that actually what we are going to search here. So in the carrier ID, so here in that carrier airline ID, I have to put like source dot default search element true. That is the on things. And also another, that is the source dot so fuzziness threshold, it is 0.7. that means that it depends. I mean that what is the percentage it will match. After this percentage match, it will show the data. So now it is 70%. So if any word is matched with the 70%, after that it will show the data. So here I can put into the departure and also in the destinations. So departure and destinations, both I can use that. Actually it depends at where I want to use this. Okay, and in that flight I also have to use source dot default source element true. That is for the flight. But we have to do other things, like you can see basically that is coming from that carrier name. So here if I go to the airport, that is the name. So here we also have to add this. Here, so now you can see that is the main source is also showing here. So that is the main source, and that is the source help. I can search here, but actually if we select here, so now for example I want to see only the American Airlines. So all American Airlines is here. If I want to see others like Japan, only Japan is showing, and here is also the same. So basically that's it. So in this video and this previous video I have implement as a part of that list report. So I mean that how you can view the report and how you can connect, and everything is based on that logic. And in the architecture point of view, actually here we use only that we didn't implement this, we just use that mainly this is the service binding, and I just consume that service into the Fiori applications. And here's what in the last two videos I have shown you how you can combine the text, how you can view the text, and how you can use the search, and how you can implement the view or that help you, and also how you can navigate from one page to another with the details, and how you can show in the association, and how you can show data from the another table. So that's all from that list view, and in the next video I will try to show you the managed applications, and after that I will continue with the unmanaged. Thank you so much.